Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the best thing this week on the Fandom Foundry Network. This is the best thing we did actually last week, but that's okay because we don't know what we're going to do this week. But I am joined by a very special guest to talk about the best things with my former Canerdian co-host, Mr. Mark Carabin from Parts Unknown Atlantic Ocean.
And I'm looking the part today. I had to break out
Absolutely.
this
Davy Jones. How you doing?
Davy Jones quick kind of cosplay. Yeah, how you doing, man? It's great to see you in this podcast space again. This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was just about starting fresh, doing something new, just throwing things out there and see what my passion led me to. And it was just talking about talking to people about things they love. So, or
Yeah.
things that they're experiencing. But trying to be positive, like what did you love and what do you want to share with everybody? So that is the gist of this show.
I
So
love it.
folks, Mark is on Instagram. He does a lot of cool 3D printing. He makes some awesome costuming. So check him out there. Are you Canerdian Jedi?
Canerdian _ Jedi, yeah, is still what we're going with over there. Although I've been, definitely, as you can see, for anyone watching, a little bit outside the Star Wars comfort zone. This isn't even like a full-on cosplay. This is my work attire for Friday.
Yes.
This was a quick print. And it was really just, so I got this on Cults 3D. Designer's name is Ralar 3D, RALAR 3D. And I bought this, but he was kind enough to send me Davy Jones' Claw, which I haven't had time to print yet because I've been doing some other projects, but I can't wait to do that. So super nice guy. But yeah, I wanted something easy and quick to wear. And I'm gonna take this stuff off now because I want to be able to like drink if my voice gets dry.
Oh yeah.
But this was a very simple print. This was
That's amazing. When you say that, I'm like, I don't know how that is simple, but I'll believe you.
Well, each side of these little tentacle things printed. That was one sheet.
Oh, one sheet. Okay.
2 sheets. So like, set the printer, it goes 6 hours later, 5 hours later, whatever. I have 5 tentacles for this side, reset, print them again, have them for that side. And then the mask part was another 5-6 hour print. And that was it. And
that's just vertical supports and it's printing up like this
that's
way.
It.
Which way is it printing actually? Is it
the mask prints this way with supports?
Okay.
And the tentacles print face down with supports. You see the suction side down.
Got it. Okay, those are
minor tree supports to help with the tentacle one. But overall, a very quick and satisfying print. And I printed it in brown, and I was gonna leave it like that. And then I kind of got bored one night, and I was like, I can make this a little bit more
worn or actual like
like a little bit more creature like
versus like Lego or it's just shiny plastic.
Yeah, right. So that was kind of the vibe. So I was like, you know what, I'll put in the print time is the print time, and I usually do that when I'm sleeping or at work.
Yeah,
I said I'll put in like an hour or 2 of paint time, let it dry. It's multiple layers that I did with the paint. I want it to look very octopus like and have a couple of different colors. There's purples, there's yellows, and browns and green and different translucencies throughout it. So that realistically, like the painting took the longest part, the longest time, and then figuring it out how to attach it to my face.
The strap, okay.
Because he included these little things, which I think are kind of made for those like over the ear, like COVID mask kind of things. Like that's kind of the pictures he showed off. And I tested that for a hot second and was like, not for me. It doesn't
hot glue them.
It's still a little. I super glued this elastic strap. I had this left over from another cosplay I did, and then added a little nose padding because I still had some foam left over from my Captain Canada stuff. And that was it. So it was quick and easy ish. I mean, I went a little hard on the paint job, but like didn't have to, you know what I mean? And I'm
That's
literally
amazing.
just going to wear that to work on Friday. I'm going to be dressed at normal-ish business, work attire.
Folks,
And I'm just going to have a squid face.
He's a media guy. That's what he wears. He just shows up every week with something.
That's it.
Just Mark being Mark.
That's all.
That's awesome, man. Well,
Yeah.
I will say our next show that we'll be launching is MakerCast. We would love to talk to you about people that have questions about just 3D printing, just weird stuff. We'd love to have you show us some of your projects and kind of just give us like the 1,000-foot view of like, if somebody else wanted to do it, where do they look? And so
absolutely,
the things,
I'd be happy to.
The things you talked about, please put the any of those connections in the notes, and I'll share them in the podcast link. Love it
for sure. Yeah, and I know I shared some pictures in the Discord group. I'll have to share some links and that kind of stuff for anyone interested, because and that's one thing I talked to the creator about, was like, that's how I kind of connected with him, was, do you have any printing tips? So anyone, before, and we'll talk about this later when I do that other show, the MakerCast. But that was for anyone thinking about 3D printing or doing 3D prints now, and you're looking for files, don't be afraid to reach out to the people who are creating the files.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because on like Cults, Maker World, Thangs, wherever you're getting it from, like, you can see who made the files. And people like this guy, they're just doing this in their spare time. I was the first person ever to leave a review with a make and pictures of one of this guy's builds. I was his first ever like review with pictures and comments and all that kind of stuff. And it happened just because I messaged him saying like, hey, you didn't include anything, like what kind of support should I use? Like any kind of like parameters that I should be aware of, or like even how do I orient it? The same question that you asked. He's like, oh, I forgot to add that. I'm so glad
that's great feedback. Yeah.
Great feedback. He's since added it to the description. And I said, no problem. I can't wait to print it. And he said, like, please share it with me. Wasn't even expecting like a review or tags in posts or anything. He's like, I'd love to see someone else's take on it, because he's obviously printed it himself. I was like, yeah, dude, I'll tag you in everything I do. I'll set up a review for you. And we've been chatting since. It's really cool. So like, the people who make the files are just as ready to geek out about this stuff than, the people. And for me, like I said, I usually hit print and go to sleep. Like it's those guys are
Set and forget it.
To me, that are the real wizards that are figuring out how these things go together and how this stuff works. Like those moving tentacles printing all in one piece. So you just break off the supports and they move freely, and there's nothing to put together. You slide it into the mask and you're set. It's like you're a wizard. You just figured that out. And all I did was click a few buttons on my computer and then went to sleep, and then I had a thing in the morning like that. It's pretty wild.
That's amazing. Yep. I'm one of those people, like, I just am so curious. I don't know how it's done. It's like magic to me.
Yeah.
Magic. And I'm, at the con scenes now too. There are vendors that are making these amazing things. So I'm very excited. Next weekend we have Twin Cities Con. We'll go to that. I'm sure there'll be some awesome things. And like every time I see them, like, maybe I should get into 3D printing. I'm like, Todd, you just need a friend with a 3D printer and just pay them for the things.
That's easier.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a box back there. You can barely see it just at the bottom of my screen there. I had a friend drop off a box of filament, and she was like, can you print a bunch of stuff? Here's the filament. You don't even need that. She's just like, I don't want to buy a 3D printer, but she does a lot of crafting and a lot of different things. But there's a couple of like specialized tools, I guess, that she needed and couldn't find around. She's like, are you able to print them? I was like, yeah, easy. Found the file. I printed one as a tester. She was like, I'm getting you some filament, dude. You got to print a bunch of these. So
that's cool. So it's like your time and your materials, and it's like, hey,
yeah,
we want to help people out. But yeah, it's an investment. But I mean, that's awesome.
She came and fed the cat on the weekend while I was away, and I'm doing a bunch of 3D prints for her. So it kind of works out. So Amanda, if you see this, your prints are on the way.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
this turned into a best things we made this week.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, right.
I have made something, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I have to wait till I'm finished, and then I will share it. But all I will say is there is glass involved, and then you go from there. And it's not a crack pipe. Sorry, Mark. I'm sure Mingy you were assuming that. Oh well. Well, guys,
I was going bong, but go straight to crack. That's
small, big. Well, I've got to work my way up. Fine. I mean, bongs are huge. I mean, crack pipes very small.
Oh, okay. In that respect, I was like, work your way up to.
True, that's a little bit different. I mean,
that was
drug. Yeah,
you're starting at crack and then working your way from wit.
Okay. Paraphernalia.
Yeah, this is going to get you banned on YouTube.
The intensity of the experience or the more illegal it gets. Yeah.
Yeah,
little bitty thing, big crime. Yeah. So yeah, more to come on that. I should be done. I just got to set the time, and now that I'm done with my class, I just got to finish it. So I don't have the pressure anymore, but I'm gonna finish it. So, but with that, guys, it's spooky season. If you saw Mark's really cool 3D print, Mark should just wear the hat for the rest of the show. Why not? It's awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We'll just pretend we're having a good time.
I love the live sound effects and stuff that you're doing with this. I love that intro too.
Yeah,
absolute banger.
It's fun doing this. I try not to overdo it when we do the fantasy football podcast. Mark, it gets crazy. We do GIFs and things in the background. Yeah, we probably got flagged a couple of times. We did get flagged by YouTube when Clinton was on because we showed some trailers. So that's okay though.
Right, it happens. Yep.
Whatever it is. So it's been a lot of fun. So there's going to be a little bit of spooky stuff in this episode, but we're going to be talking about the best things we did because that's really the coolest thing. So Mark, what was your best thing that you did?
The best thing that I did was attend my brother's wedding. He got married over the weekend. Like I said, someone was over to feed the cat and spend some time with her. So I was away. It was I'll say destination wedding, but it wasn't very far. It was about an hour's drive from where I live. Very nice little kind of country resort kind of thing. Right on the water. It was absolutely a beautiful location, a beautiful wedding. It was a great weekend. It was awesome. Yeah, weddings are fun. So this was good. I was a co-best man with one of Colin's. I love that. One of Colin's other best friends, and we just had a great time, and everything ran very, very smoothly. It was really cool. Really, really good time.
For my wedding, I basically just did best men and same thing because, I always feel like I don't have a brother, so I can't have one. And then I have so many friends that I love them equally. So it worked out really well. It was fun. Was there any theme to it? Anything stood out in regards to, songs, dancing? I mean, Finn was there. I saw him dressed up like a cool kid. Kids love music. Did they do the chicken dance in Canada? That's a real question.
We do the chicken dance, but I did not hear the chicken dance played at this wedding. But some of the wedding ceremony music, so they got a cello player and a piano player to play some music while we were everyone was waiting, and then
awesome.
processionals and that kind of stuff. Of everyone walking down the aisles and all that kind of stuff. And they threw in a lot of video game music, a lot of nerdy stuff, some stuff
was
from
that
Lord
requested?
of the Rings as well. Oh yeah. They had a list.
Not just by chance.
My brother, no. My brother curated a lot of that list. That was a big responsibility of his, was picking some songs. So there was Zelda's Lullaby. I said, there's one of the Lord of the Rings songs that the name's escaping me. But then through the reception, those same guys played, and they did slow kind of classical styled versions of Donkey Kong. There was one from a Mario game. I think Mario 3. They really kind of nerded up the music, and it was funny. There's a table of my brother's friends and some of our cousins over at a different table and stuff, and we all grew up loving the same video games, loving the same music and that kind of stuff. So every single time to old people or people that didn't know in the audience, it was just like, yeah, two guys playing some classical music. But every single time we'd look
Nobody
over
else
and be
does.
like, yeah, that's the Donkey Kong one. So it was really, really good. And then for the dance, the reception afterwards, they had a live band, which I've been to a bunch of weddings that have had both DJs and live bands. And there's something about live bands that it's just it's got a fun energy to it than someone just kind of playing a playlist. And that's coming from something like we had a DJ at our wedding, and for the most part, it was great.
I made a mix CD for ours because it was at my mom's and dad's house. We just push play. Like all you have to do is push play. There you go.
Yeah, fantastic, right? It's
exactly.
But the live band really, they rocked it. And Finn, this was Finn's like first wedding. He's 5. And he was ready to go. He was the flower boy, so took his job very seriously, looked dapper as hell in his suit, and very straight-faced, throwing out the flowers. And then afterwards, it was like, okay, that's done. I'm ready to dance. So he ate his chicken nuggets at the dinner and then was just ready to go. That kid danced like clear the dance floor. I'm ready to dance kind of thing. The band loved him so much that they dragged him up on stage for 2 songs and gave him a little like shaker tambourine thing.
That's awesome.
It was fantastic. So there's some videos of him dancing to like Wake Me Up by Avicii and then jumping up on stage with the band. It's it was amazing. It was a great time. The best part about it, or one of the best parts, is my sister's kids. One of them was around the same age for my wedding, like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And he was the exact same for my wedding. He was a dancing machine, basically closed the place down. And Finn danced till 12:30 a.m. I have never seen the kid stay up that late. Even in Disney World, he couldn't make it that long. But for this wedding, he tanked at around 11:30, quarter to 12, got back to our room, opened up. So he had this little like push pop candy sucker kind of thing, right? Lollipop deal. That was on the bedside table. He had most of it earlier. So as soon as we get in the room, he looks at that, goes over, knocks the top off of it, takes one lick of it and goes, I want to go dance again. It was like instant sugar high. As like, you're that tired. That one lick of a lollipop was like, I'm ready to go. And we went back over for probably another half hour or so.
Just get comfier, just show up back and.
Well, that was the thing. I had already like my shoes were off and my shirt was off at that point. And he takes this drag of a lollipop and is like, I'm ready to go. So I was like, shit, I gotta, okay, I'll put my shirt back on. He and Loren were out the door and across the field. And I'm like still doing buttons up. Like I had to go chase them down. I did put on comfier shoes than my dress shoes at that point, but like, man,
didn't wear like the tank, the white undershirt tank top, and you're in your boxers.
No,
like, I'm here.
I did contemplate just whipping on a t-shirt or something like that, and then I was like, you know what? I have to change my dress pants and like change everything. I was like, it's just easier to put my shirt back on and just go. But it was it was a great time. It was really fun.
Fantastic. Well, you get to a point in your life where there's a lot of weddings, and you get to a point where there's no weddings, and you get like it's those kids of kids. So it's like, oh my goodness. So that's going to be hitting soon. We're going to get like probably some other people. Level Good Wedding, which is kind of equivalent to a gala, which I attended. This is the best thing I did this week. And actually I have a couple of those, but really this is tied into it. My wife was asked to be the guest of honor for the Cultural Society of Filipino Americans.
That's great.
This is the Minnesota chapter of that. It's a national organization. So she's like, do you want to go? And I'm like, of course, it's a gala. Who wouldn't do the theme, Mark? And let me see if I can share this because it's kind of fun. I'm bad because I didn't take pictures, but I should have. Here we go. Let me upload this one. I got the right image. There we go. Okay, here we go. So the theme was Kentucky Derby, Mark.
Awesome.
So we're like, what the heck do we worth? So every lady was dressed up with, the big hat, and they didn't serve mint juleps, which I thought was very odd, but okay. So that's like the official drink, and they are actually horrible. So that's fine with me. But we had a blast. I mean, Chris got to do her speech. They had the induction of officers. Chris is an honorary officer now, which is great. And she's wanted to get more involved with the Filipino groups in Minnesota because it's part of her culture, obviously. And it was a great time. We they had a live singer, which was kind of crazy. She sang Golden, K-pop Demon Hunters. It was amazing during dinner. And then there were Filipino dancers. They did some traditional folk dances. But the funny part was, let's see if I can find it in the video here. But yeah, like I don't know if there's a picture of Chris in here, but yeah, there's singing. Yeah, well, let's see if I get one more maybe here. Oh, that's the singer who sang Golden. She was amazing. Some of the older Filipino aunties were a little bit disturbed by her dress. The funny part was this is pretty funny. They had they did a performance. They have a dance group that normally does traditional dances, but they did a dance to Pink Pony Club, Mark. And that was the end of the show. It was hilarious. They did an amazing
screams the
job.
Philippines like
absolutely
and K-pop.
Yes, they went through it. They had a blast. I mean, this is women of, I would say, anywhere from like 35 to we're getting like 60. And Filipino women do not age, so it's hard to always tell what age they truly are. And at the end, they had people show up in horses, so it was an amazing event. I got out. They did have a DJ, so I danced. I told Chris I would dance one song. We had a blast. So but it was fun. It was great. We had a great time. We had met some new people, so it was a great time. So very cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, so that was the best thing I did in regards to not tied to like a Halloween theme, because this is the Halloween episode. So that brings us to the best things we ate, Mark.
Yeah. So weddings, there's wedding food. Always great. So there were a lot of highlights for this wedding food. I could pick there's like a rehearsal dinner that my parents did, and the menu there was really, really good. It was hard to choose. So I got a cheeseburger, and my wife got a chicken stir fry. And when the stir fry, like the burger was good, but the stir fry was fantastic and such a crazy big portion.
Wow. That
she ate until she was full, and it looked like there was a full other portion there. So I was like,
just for doggy bags.
No, we didn't really. We figured by the end of the weekend it would not hold up well in a tiny hotel fridge that was already full of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't good. So so I ate as much of that as I could, to the detriment of the also very delicious French fries that I was like, I got to choose between French fries and this incredible stir fry. So I'm going to go stir fry. Because French fries you can kind of get anywhere, but they were good. But like one of the funniest highlights food wise for me was while we were getting ready, like, the bride and groom each had their own cabin at this resort. So the wedding parties got ready in those cabins, and the girls were doing all their makeup and stuff, but we kind of like went into the cabins. We didn't take long, but we got together as if it was going to take long. And for us, it was sitting around eating a bunch of sandwiches that my mom made and playing Pokemon and Tower Fall.
Wait. How were you playing Pokemon with a group?
We were doing trades and going into
okay.
each other's Pokemon Scarlet games and Violet games and whatever, and
Okay.
and finding version exclusives. And
Finding
there's one
versions of
Pokemon.
Pokemon? What?
No, maybe only the people that play. I guess myself included, and I have a kid.
Yes.
Figure that out.
Well, you were
no,
before. You gave it up for a few years. You convinced Loren, and then you're like,
I
"Oh,
don't
by the
know
way,
if
I'm a
I've ever-
Pokemaniac."
Right. Yeah,
What?
that's exactly. It's like, aha, there's
Divorced.
tattoos on me. Now you can't get away. So that's what we did. We played that. We played Towerfall. We got the nephews up. They had a blast. And it just like it brought me right back home to hanging out with like my brother and friends, and hanging out in our parents' basement, playing video games, and eating like sandwiches and stuff that my mom would make. So like instantly like brought me straight back. It was a great weird little highlight of fancy meals and all this kind of stuff. But it's like, yeah, no, a ham sandwich is like the highlight that my mom made and took there.
It hits that heart, right?
Yeah, it was great.
I am amazed. So did you have to put your request in before, like when you sent your thing, what would you want, or did you actually order on the fly?
For what?
For the reception.
Oh, like for the reception? No, we put in the request earlier.
Okay, I was wondering, like, if they're doing it on the fly, man, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
We didn't plan enough stir fry. that would be really bad. Well, that's amazing. A lot. I would say the best food I ate was not at the event. It was one of those hotel banquets. Salmon and some tough meat. But you know what? It wasn't there for the food, but it was free, so we couldn't complain. So the best thing I ate, and I'll actually share if I can share a picture of it. Let me bring it up. I swear I had this covered. Well, I don't want to do that. Sorry, guys. This is the magic of doing it live, as Bill O'Reilly would say. Here we go. Let me share my screen, and there we go. So we went to this event on Sunday, a trunk or treat event at a brewery collective, and it was authors. My wife was there, so we had a trunk of candy to give to kids, and parents could get beer. So it was like the best thing ever. We did not expect to have that many kids. We had a blast. My wife had her books out. My wife obviously is a child's author, and it was fun. We had a great time. So many kids in costumes. It was so much fun. My son is 19 now, so costumes, that stuff, the magic's a little bit gone, but it was so great to see these kids. So much fun. We gave candy, little comic books they could actually color in and make their own stories. Stickers, of course. Stickers were very popular. And apparently my wife got Invader Zim stickers because she wrote a book about aliens. And man, the parents, the young parents, are like, I remember Invader Zim. So they were freaking out. But that leads us to the best thing I ate, and that is this amazing school bus that was converted into a pizza truck. Basically, they have a brick oven pizza oven in this school bus. They drive it around. It's sourdough crust. So actually, it works for people that are gluten sensitive, like my wife, who normally doesn't get chewy pizza. She gets thin, gluten-free pizza. And like I was like, this is amazing because it works well. It's a real sourdough, so it really doesn't have the gluten that you see in normal pizzas. And Mark, it was delicious. Like 6-minute pizzas, because I have ovens like at 800 degrees. They're just doing this, whipping them out. They're perfect size. Everybody had a pizza. Everybody was getting beer. And guess what? Got 2 free drink tickets. So I got a beer. Chris got a cool mango seltzer, alcoholic seltzer, and treat another friend to a drink. And just great, cool. And actually, this cup, which I'm drinking out of, was one of the things. And it's a Halloween cup that basically has Frankenstein. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really fun. I mean, awesome. It was $15 for a pint, and you get the glass for free.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So it was great. And the pizza was delicious. I got the all meat, man. It's like one of those pizzas where they just don't know how much is enough, so they just keep going. So like literally the meat wouldn't stick to the pizza because there's more meat than cheese to stick to.
Wow.
Amazing. My wife got a margarita
Wow.
pizza. She loved it. She's like, I can't stop eating. So great pizza, great food. They travel, so I will definitely be following them a lot more. So yeah, great pizza. Good guys. A lot of fun. Yeah, gotta love a good pizza. So
Want to know a weird on-theme coincidence?
yes.
My brother's cake topper for the wedding was Frankenstein and the Bride.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Because yeah, Halloween. Might as well get something in because you're right
Lean
there.
into it a
Right?
bit. Yeah, we missed a lot of stuff, and that was kind of the downside of this wedding weekend. There was a lot of stuff back home, like downtown did their all, their big like come into different businesses and go around and
Mhm.
that kind of, Trunkoween or whatever you call
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. That all happened this past weekend, so Finn missed out on that. So luckily we'll be able to do some stuff with the school on Friday and then go trick-or-treating.
Do they still do like the parade of costumes with kids?
At school, yeah, we got
It's so
a
fun.
message home. I'm seeing it on the other side of the table here. Just basically no masks. It seems to be the only rule. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise
Pointy
they're free to wear
swords
the
and things,
costume all day.
probably
Yeah,
leave those at home. Yeah.
yeah.
But this is us actually in the trunk or treat.
Oh, that's
That's how we
great.
dressed up the Subaru, had it there. I brought a little speaker. Nobody else had speakers for music, so I played spooky music. And of course, then you get right into like the soundtrack that ends up being like the
Mhm.
knockoff Christmas or Halloween songs. So it's like Thriller, not by Michael Jackson. It's actually by Martin Jackson. It's like, what is this horrible thing? But then I found this really cool instrumental that worked really
That's
well.
cool.
Because obviously you have to be careful. The kids can't be too spooky, but
Yeah.
yeah, we had a blast. Yeah, and there was just everybody was there. And our friend Trisha, she wrote a book called The Little Bitty Witch. She read, and there was like 120 kids there to watch her read, and she was like overwhelmed. There were dogs dressed up. They're
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, and it was just great. And basically, there was a raffle too, so you could win the book. So my wife actually, several people won her book, and yeah, she sold a bunch of books. The Teen Titan Go's book was very popular with the kids. She sold out.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That is
fun time.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've been doing a lot more stuff than actually being able to read and play games. So I won't have much in that space this week, even though I was like, maybe I can squeeze an account. No, I got to make dinner.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that is the really fun, kind of Halloweeny weekend, which is great, and which leads
That's
us
awesome.
into the best things we read. I did not read something this week, but Mark, you did.
Yeah, I've been trying to read a lot more because I joined a writers group
Oh,
um,
fantastic!
about a month ago. I have been outlining an idea for at least one, but possibly 2 to 3 different novels. Basically, the idea right now is to see how far I can kind of get. I have an idea of how to break it up
Mhm.
if the idea ends up being long enough. And right now the outline's quite detailed,
Yep.
which I didn't realize because I've written a lot of stuff before. I've written short stories. I've written a series of poetry in as kind of a major project for an art class. I wrote a play that got produced in a
Oh,
one-act play
fantastic!
festival and won a couple of awards, but I've never written a full like novel, a full kind of book before. And I've had ideas for several years, and this idea was more. Do you ever have those ideas where it's like you come up with an idea for a character or a couple of characters, and
Mhm.
then you kind of think of a couple of cool scenes or interactions with those characters, but you don't quite know what else to do with it. And it's just like, oh,
Mhm.
this would be kind of cool. Or, oh, I'd love to see like that power set meet this power
Mhm.
set and how that dynamic would
Yeah.
team up. Or maybe this guy doesn't realize he has powers and this guy does. So I had this kind of thing, and I this idea for several years of these like broad character strokes and that kind of thing. Um, it wasn't until kind of recently that I said, like, I wonder if I could actually do something with this, and seeing other people do some writing on like Instagram and TikTok. And I follow several authors and several people in like the we call it book talk space and that kind of stuff. So I sat down one night and just said, like, I wonder if I could figure this out and have like a MacGuffin kind of thing. Like, I wonder if that's the kind of the Indiana Jones approach. Like, you just pick some stupid item and then you just build an adventure around that, and that's it, right? So that's kind of what I did. But then that kind of turned into changing the setting and kind of turned it into a more fantasy adventure. So I've been building out this world and building out these ideas, and I'm excited to share stuff in the hopefully near future.
Nice.
The outline's done to a point where I'm kind of happy, and going to this writers group, I realized that I should just start writing instead of keeping on going with the outline, because the advice that I was given, which I think was really good advice, was just if you put too much detail in the outline, you won't want to write the story because you'll feel like you've already written a story.
You've trapped yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew going in, the outline was not going to be like the be all end all. And it's so funny because I'm a few pages into actually writing chapter 1 now. And none of what I've written has been in the outline. Not a single goddamn thing. I even started with a different character because when I sat down, I was like, I think I have to start it here instead of there. And I think I have to go back further. And I think I have to explain this at this point. And it just, the whole thing just snowballed. And I rewrote it probably about 4 or 5 times from scratch. And I'm finally at a place where I'm feeling okay about this, these couple of pages. But I also realized, like, the first sentence and then the first paragraph and then the first page kind of all have to capture someone's attention and really hook them in. So I needed something that just instantly popped, which is why I rewrote it 4 or 5 times. But I'm not going to be that concerned, because I also have to tell myself, like, just write it, or you're just going to go crazy rewriting everything as you go. And that's what editing and revisions are for.
Twice, as my wife would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Or write drunk, edit sober. I think that's what she's also saying.
Yes, that's a good one. I like that. So that aside from the opening, which I really want it to nail, I'm going to take that advice.
The drinking part or the
both, maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
We'll see.
Perfect.
We'll see.
With ideas flow.
So I'm very excited to share that. But in order to also kind of like get some inspiration, get some, how are modern books kind of structured? Because a lot of times when I'm reading, I'm going back and reading old Star Wars books, or I'm reading old, like, Tom Clancy, or like rereading Jurassic Park or The Hobbit or something like that. So I was like, I need to get some new books and see what people are writing now and what's popular now. So I read that this was just picked up. There you go. I'm holding up the book and you're flashing on the screen. You are.
Well, I figured it might be easier, or Mark is holding up a book for anyone
exactly,
who's listening.
So Impossible Creatures. Yes. This Catherine Rundell is writing this series. I think a couple of them are out now, and another one's coming out soon. But this was just picked up by Disney.
I saw that. I was looking here. I think even I saw that note. So what are they going to do with it? Just adapt it into a live action animated?
I'm assuming I don't think they've announced any real plans. I assumed when I read this, they want it to compete with Harry Potter. So I envision something live action. Cool. I don't know if it will be movies or something for more Disney Plus kind of Percy Jackson, kind of what they're doing with that. We'll see, but they seem to be jumping all in and buying this series and supporting the author and doing all that kind of stuff. So who knows, in a few years, we may be visiting the Impossible Creatures pavilion or something like that in Disney World. The Impossible Creatures land, I think, would be really, really cool. And let's face it, Harry Potter, just keeps kind of getting more and more toxic. Every time someone mentions something good, it's like 4 things that are bad about
Yep.
authors or people involved, or it's just a franchise that just keeps getting, sadly, because I grew up on Harry Potter and absolutely loved those books and movies and the world and everything else. And but man, it's tough to love.
Agreed. And I would say Disney has struggled with really hitting it out of the park with fantasy.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, Willow
yeah,
died on the vine. I mean, there's been a couple there. That one Pixar film with the
yeah,
two brothers, it was a Magic Land, didn't do that well around
yeah,
COVID. So I'm hoping they can find a home run in fantasy, because fantasy is one of my favorite genres, but it is very hard to do
yeah.
in a more fun and light manner.
And that's
Even that
yeah,
even that
that's
did you ever watch Disenchanted?
yes, yeah,
Okay, I like that show a lot, but it was not up to everyone's interest, is the
yeah.
best way to say it. Yeah.
And Disney also, like, they don't have a lot of stuff like young adult. They're missing kind of a section there
Oh, they do,
where
like, what is it? What's their, like, original, like, movies they do? Like, the, Descendants? They do stuff like
yeah,
that.
they
Yeah,
do that kind of stuff. So they have
yeah,
that age group, which I would say is like kind of early teen kind of
mhm,
thing, maybe.
yeah,
But they're missing a chunk in there. So they have, like, you know, Disney Junior, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and then I think you'd have that kind of like Descendants and like Vampirina,
High
High
School
School
Musical,
Years or whatever.
yeah,
All that kind of shit is like, teen kind of thing. And then they're missing a young adult section, I think. And then they have stuff for like us, like Star Wars and Marvel and all that kind of
mhm,
shit. But like, I think there's still kind of like, there's a section of in there that they're kind of missing. So I'm really wondering if this will fit that. And I'm only a few chapters in right now, but it's excellent. I also picked up a book called The Devils, which I've heard
oh,
amazing things about. So I went like young adult and then super adult, and I started with this one because it seems like a quicker read. Um, but I'm going to get into The Devils, and my brother just finished The Devils and was talking about it this weekend, and it's excellent. It's actually sitting on the table behind me. Um, so aside from writing things, I've been also trying to read as much as possible. I also downloaded a couple of different audio books, a couple of books that were recommended, that I started searching about pirate books, because the book that I'm writing has a sort of pirate fantasy setting,
mhm.
um, with witches, werewolves, and a bunch of other crazy little creatures that I've been inventing. So it's I think it's going to be fun. Um,
Oh,
so
so
I'm interested in what's in this, because I don't want to copy
so
anything accidentally. So I'm like, I got to read Impossible Creatures to make sure I didn't accidentally come up with like a hermit
oh, yeah,
kraken that's
you have
already been invented.
yep, you have to be very careful, like, is that
Yeah,
an idea I read somewhere else? Is there, it's like songs, right? Did I hear that song somewhere else? And yeah,
yeah.
you're getting sued 5 weeks later. Give us the elevator pitch of this book for those who've not heard of it, like myself.
Of this Impossible Creatures.
Impossible Creatures, yes.
All right. It's a boy rescues a drowning baby griffin from a hidden lake,
Ooh, I love Griffins.
and that changes his life forever. That's the day he learns about the archipelago, a cluster of unmapped islands where magical creatures of every kind have thrived until now. There he meets Mal, a girl on the run in desperate need of his help, and the two embark on a wild adventure, consulting sphinxes, battling kraken, negotiating with dragons, and trying to discover why the magic is fading from this enchanted world. You can see on the
I love what they're doing with books
bit of
now.
mine on the
Yeah.
it's
The spines on the, or
I
not the
forget what this
spines, the
creature's
inside
called.
books.
Ratatosca, and it's a squirrel with a horn, like a unicorn horn.
Oh,
There's
that's
an
weird.
image
It's not a
there.
jackalope.
No, these creatures are fantastic, and there's
Oh, okay.
all of these, like, there's like a little like RPG style breakdown
nice.
of this creature, like intelligence, fears, location, status, favorite food, all that kind of stuff.
Got to
It
catch
is
them all, I
really
guess.
cool. I love how she's mapping this out. I love there's illustrations all throughout it. There's things like this giant kraken
Ooh, yes.
battle, which I'm very happy about because like I said, the one of the creatures I have in my book is called a hermit kraken, which is like a kraken but hermit crab
It's a little
sized,
tiny.
very small, very angry, and plays an important role in the book. So yeah, I'm glad that her krakens are full size. But this is good. Like I said, I'm only a few chapters in at this point. But it's a cool world. I'm digging it.
Very cool. We one of our favorite things to do is go to bookstores, and it's always amazing to see what's popping in regards to YA and all these different areas. And it's amazing. I wish there was this many when I was growing up as a kid. When I was a kid, not much on the Vine. Obviously, Harry Potter opened that up quite a bit and then Twilight, of course. So I think those are the two big things that opened it up for that audience, since they started feeding that audience things they wanted. But Mark, when you first mentioned this, I'm like, when you said Impossible Creatures, I thought, is it this thing? Where have you seen this? It's a Steam. It's like a Steam game where it's like these weird. You can like design weird creatures.
Yeah, I
like
remember seeing this.
Hybrids. I mean, look at how horrific these things are. I mean, what is an ape bee? I mean,
that's gonna get
like
that Disney shutdown notice real soon.
It's like the
even
island
though
of
that's
Dr.
been out
Moreau.
for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're going back in time and saying we claimed it before, but they could just say, "Hey, we've got a game engine. Let's make this."
Yeah.
So,
amazing.
What is that? Oh my god! You may have to play this game now, Mark.
Yeah.
It's good research, right?
Fantastic.
You gotta love it. I was gonna say really quickly, Pop. I've got my wife's hype man. So, my wife did write 3 Teen Titans books, and one was based on pirates. High seas, hijinks. So, I don't know how much you could get from researching that book, but it was very funny.
Excellent. I'm happy to check it out.
And would love it.
Yeah. That's I should really get those. And I read to Finn every night, and that was another thing. Is
that's
like
amazing. Yeah, that was
planning
Logan.
Yeah, planning out to like write a book and realizing I had to read more modern young adult or adult stuff because I still haven't really settled on. I could go both. So far the outline is there's bits and pieces that are kind of tipping on that line that it's like a little too dark for young adult. But if I tone some things down, I think I could make it along this like Impossible Creatures, Harry Potter level of like, there's some serious shit, but nothing hopefully too much out of the realm of like a young adult could pick this up and enjoy it kind of thing. Decidedly not like a kid's book, but I think there's a couple of scenes that I have planned out in the outline right now that I'm like, I think if I tone that down or just be kind of like a little less graphic that I have in my mind, I think. And then if I keep the language,
would scare some kids and not scare other kids. It's really weird, right?
Yeah. So, but like getting into the mindset even of like not reading, little golden books and that kind of shit every night. It was like, oh, right, this is how an adult book is structured. Right. Okay, cool. So it's been fun, but I still redo them every night. It's great.
Speaking of which, just a thing which I think is funny, the little golden books have just gone crazy. Now there's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer golden book, which I love. It's like, hey, they're embracing the fun, and they're going after me because I have a He-Man one that my sister got for me. So you know what? It's for everybody.
We have so many Star Wars golden books. Like tonight, I read I Am a Princess, which is all about Princess Leia.
Nice.
Finn's absolute favorite book, so much so that he brought for show and tell last week, is the Galaxy's Edge tie-in book.
Oh,
that goes all through the Galaxy's Edge, like Batu and the different characters that you'll meet in Disney World and all that kind of stuff, and tells this story but as if it's like a real place in Star Wars kind of thing. So it's like a kid and his
cool.
parents land their space shuttle there, and he gets to explore and help the rebels against the First Order for a little bit. And but it's also so funny to see it as a Disney tie-in because they hit all the stores. So it's like, yeah, you can stop here and get a blue milk, and then you could go over here and, you know, listen to the DJ play. But I'm not going to go in that place because, like, you know, it's the bar, but it's like still talking about where it would be. And they make sure to list every single vendor there. So it's like, oh my God, this is so funny. But it's his favorite book in the world because he was there. He's like, I met Vi, and this is oh yeah,
absolutely. All right, so let's get into the best thing we watched, Mark. I'm very excited about this one, so take it away.
We have been watching old goofy Halloween movies. Maybe not even goofy is the right word. We did the classics, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas is coming up this week because I always like watching that the last. I'll watch that like Halloween night or November 1st, where it's like Halloween's closing, Christmas season. So that's we got that plan. But like stuff like Hocus Pocus or those kind of movies, we watched all the Disney ones, Haunted Mansion, all this kind of stuff. But this was a pick that I hadn't watched in years, and I just had to throw it in there. Earnest, Scared, Stupid, streaming on Disney. This is a Touchstone thing, so it was a Disney production. And
is that Wishbone? Is that the dog?
That was Wishbone. Wishbone had quite the contract in with Disney. Reading stuff about how this movie was made and where Earnest came from. He started doing hardware store commercials.
Yes.
And turned into this guy that had 4 or 5 movies produced by Disney, including this one. There's Ernest Goes to Prison. I think, you know, there's just, there's such goofy.
You can go to prison with a Disney film.
Yeah. There's such goofy movies. This one, it's funny. You know, I watched this movie as a kid and remember, you know, there are, and even watching it now, like there are some effects in it and stuff like that are pretty decent. You know, some of the prosthetics for like these trolls, like they're pretty gruesome. They're pretty like they're slimy. They're disgusting.
Like from,
they are
Labyrinth, like Jim Henson.
Yeah, very, very much in that same kind of thing. And it's so fun to watch now because it's like, oh, how did this guy, Earnest, get any kind of budget and any kind of following? And then you think like 4 or 5 movies in theaters. You look at it now and you're like, oh, this would be streaming. This would be on Netflix or something. But like it was a big deal. Earnest was a big deal. And it's so funny, like to go back, and my wife had never seen it. Had no
oh boy, she's like, what
memory of Earnest or whatever. Yeah, I was like, what are you making me watch? I was like, just sit down, turn your brain off, and enjoy the stupidity that's going to happen for the next whatever 80 minutes or whatever it was. I thoroughly enjoyed going back and watching it. I can't say that it like super holds up, but like some of the stuff was like, you know, it was a pretty impressive for the time. I would personally love to see John Cena do a Son of Earnest movie.
Oh, he kind of has that look.
Holy shit, dude. He is like straight up like they cloned Jim Varney and then shot him up with steroids. It's crazy. It is absolutely wild. I'd watch one movie. I'd watch a series of movies. I'd watch whatever they did. I want someone to make that happen so badly. That it's just, but like watching it, it's like my memory of Earnest as a kid was always this goofy guy, but like Jim Varney was in decent shape. There's a couple of scenes in this movie where he's like pulling himself up or doing different things. And it's like, he kind of hides it because he's playing this goofy clown of a character, but like dude was in like good Hollywood kind of shape. John Cena's in much better shape. He's a massive dude. But like if you did Son of Ernest, where you just have this absolute meathead of a guy who happens to like the gym, like you could easily write any script with that and it would be funny.
Absolutely. Yeah. They don't make movies like that again. So Mark, really quickly, I'm going to go through the, I guess the cinematography history of Earnest. So enjoy, folks. So he was in this weird short film that he made. I think that was kind of like one of the things he did, is called Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. He played like a villain called Dr. Otto. Then he did, and that was 1985. So you can watch that video if you want. It's very weird. He was in Ernest Goes to Camp in 1987. That was the movie I saw. They played happy together and that thing. It was very fun. Ernest Saves Christmas, 1988. Then after that, I guess he had to go to jail in 1990.
He does.
Interesting. Then he was Scared Stupid in 1981. Then he Rode Again. So I guess Western.
Right. Yeah.
Then he had to go to school in 94 because maybe he never graduated, or maybe he's a teacher. I don't know. Wow. Then in 1995, he decided to be an athlete. So he was dunking. So Slam Dunk Ernest happened in 95. And these are direct-to-video. So limited release.
I was going to say, there's some of these have to be direct to home video kind of thing.
Slam Dunk Ernest, direct-to-video. Then, wow. This took an interesting turn. Ernest Goes to Africa, direct-to-video. We probably just need to skip that one. And then Ernest in the Army, direct-to-video is the last film. There's some other things about films that could have happened, even a Son of Ernest, Ernest and the Voodoo Curse. A lot of things are Ernest Spaced Out, which would have gone to space, of course, like the Fast and the Furious. And then Ernest the Bellhop, Ernest in Paradise. But they didn't make it. But there was a TV show called Hey Vern, It's Ernest as well on CBS, I believe.
I remember that vaguely.
He played a lot of characters. Like he played this old woman that was weird.
Oh yeah, you see that in this. Yeah. There's I think like Attila the Hun or something like that, or some or maybe Mongolians or something like that. And then there's at least 2 women characters that he jumps into. He plays kind of an army sergeant, an adventurer kind of guy, like British, adventurer. And he just randomly, like, he's hanging out with kids, which is weird. And then he switches to all these different characters, and the kids reference it at one point. It's like, great, I'm stuck here with Ernest and his multiple personality disorder. And it's like, should you be left alone with this man? Why?
It's kind of like, is he really sane? Is he just an insane person and he's having delusions? Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah. But, like I said to my wife, you got to just shut your brain off and enjoy it for what it was. And then think the entire time. I think it's like, how did this,
You're 12 years old, have 8 years old? Yeah. I mean, you have to be in that mindset of 8 years 4
old. Or 5 theatrical releases. And then what did you list? Another 5 or 6 direct to home video movies? Like,
probably had more viewers than most movies. At the video store.
Like, he was a big thing. Like, watch.
He was.
Whether it's Scared Stupid or any of the other movies, if you're listening to this or watching this and you're like, who is this guy? Just watch any of them and realize, like, this guy was huge, like massive. Like, think of how many goofy comedies get that many sequels nowadays. None.
He spanned the 80s to the late 90s, which is just crazy in everybody's world. Mark, very quickly before we move on, let's say the catchphrase at 1 or 3, 2, 1. Know what I mean, Vern?
No. Know what I mean, Vern?
Okay, you do it. 3, 2.
No, you know what? I don't know if he said that in Ernest Scared Stupid. I forgot about that catchphrase for a moment. Yeah. Know what I mean, Vern?
And that was like in the commercials, which led to just being a big personality meant a lot and got you a lot of coverage. Now you have to be a TikTok star or have an OnlyFans. So we don't get a lot of that. Oh, well, moving on. Well, this is a big pivot because something I watched, which I just it came out last night. and that is Welcome to Derry. This is the
Oh,
new It prequel, which is actually directed by the same director that did the last two It films. So this takes, I'm just going to play the trailer. So if you get scared, don't watch. And hopefully HBO doesn't tag me. But this takes place in, I would say, late 50s because the Korean War has ended. We're in Derry again. We've got kids. We've got some kids getting kidnapped, and then we've got a group of kids investigating. This series, the first episode is just crazy. I mean, they don't pull any punches. You don't see a lot of Pennywise in the actual episode. You do get to see him in like the next, it's coming. You're going to see him. And I mean, it's interesting because they've layered on a piece, and I don't want to get too spoilery. There is an Air Force base in Derry for some reason in Maine. So you've got this element of the threat of nuclear war in that 50s, that type of feeling. You've got kids in the 50s going through that like end of innocence because they're worried about the atomic bomb. So, and it's really interesting. But I would say the first episode, if you are squeamish, you will not like the end of this episode.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a lot to take in. I'm surprised they went there. Wow. And it does some things I feel like they had a lot of guts to do. And I'm very curious to see where it goes. Because the whole point of, It mythology was every, I think, 20 to 25 years, Pennywise would reemerge, murders would happen. And so they essentially could go, and this, I think, because we did the 70s, yeah, 80s maybe. It's hard to know, which ones they did for the. So probably set in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. This is set in the 50s. They could do something set in the late 20s. Yeah, as far back as this happened. So it's kind of cool because you can tell different stories based on the setting it's in. And there's one note I would say it's about Black Americans. This Black major gets brought in, treated very badly. You get to see some things going on with the theater owner who is also Black. So we're hitting a lot of interesting notes too. So the kids are great. Man, I did not swear that much when I was like 13, but they do. And it's like the 50s are so clean. Not so much, I guess, everybody swore, it just wasn't shown on TV. So check it out. I don't know how many episodes this is, but this is HBO's premiere series right now. I enjoyed it. It's great for spooky season. And the thing is, I loved, they said, it's going to premiere early on Halloween, next episode. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So it's perfect. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Check out It, Welcome to Derry on HBO Max, which now I think we all are aligned that it's HBO Max now. It's not. And Mark, I'll ask you one more time. Where do you watch HBO in Canada?
Most of it ends up on a streaming service called Crave.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to get like a subscription to that. Maybe you can hook me up or something like that because now Food Network got replaced in Canada with something called Flavor, and they have a Canadian Halloween baking show. We cannot.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I might need to see if I can get a VPN or something like that.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, that is what I watched. And then we're going to wrap this up with the best things we played. And folks, I hate to disappoint you. I did not get to play a lot of games. I thought I was going to be playing a really cool horror game. So waiting for Gamefly to deliver it. Yes, Mark, I'm still in Gamefly. And then I tried Ball Pit. I can't really tell you much about Ball Pit. And then I'm still playing Ghosts of Yote. So that's where I'm at. But Mark, you played a game that I assume is taking over your life.
It really is. First off, we need to talk about Ball Pit because I've been on the fence about that game and been too busy, very similarly, too busy to think of any other game than the one that I'm going to be talking about in a second. But Ball Pit looks really good. I already mentioned that we did some trades. I finally have, what's a Paraffin? Finizen's evolved form in Pokemon Scarlet. Very happy about that one. And then we played Towerfall, which was super fun. But the game that I have been playing that has taken over my life completely, because my 5-year-old is also completely obsessed with it and wants to play it every chance he gets, and that is Pokemon Legends ZA. We've been playing. Stupidly, I bought the regular Switch edition and then upgrade. I had a voucher left over, so I was like, if I get this, I can put it on Finn's Switch and he can play it when I'm not playing it and not worry about that. He's like, nah, I'm gonna play your file, Dad.
What
Which
a great
most
kid.
Yes. Most of the time is okay. But every once in a while I'll come back and my team is completely changed and I'm in a different part of the city and I'm like, what happened? Where am I? Why is all of this a thing? And so then I have to kind of backtrack and figure out what he's done. But so far so good. We've put a lot of hours into this game and I don't get the hate. Yes, some of the textures on the buildings are ugly. You've got windows that are basically just, you can see it in the back of this this thing. But if you're playing this battle and you're running around, the Pokemon models all look fantastic. The player models all look great. The animations are cool. The fight mechanic, you can see it here in this video that it's all live. You're moving around.
Reminds me of Parasite Eve.
Pokemon are moving around.
It's basically an RPG where you can move around in real time, but it's still got RPG mechanics. And
so the Pokemon will attack you. A lot of times you can even send your Pokemon out and the Pokemon are like, I don't care. I want you. So like that giant red-eyed Houndoom thing.
Yeah, they get angry at you.
Oh, they will straight up take you out and they can take you out, not your Pokemon. So in this game, it doesn't matter if your whole Pokemon team is full health, ready to go. You get a crazy red-eyed Houndoom that's like an alpha charging at you. You could be a one-hit KO and you get knocked out, not your Pokemon. Pokemon are fine and being ignored, and you still end up being sent back to the Pokemon Center to recover because you got your ass handed to you by a wild Pokemon. So it's crazy. It's usually the whole crux of the Pokemon game is don't go in the tall grass or don't go out without a Pokemon companion so you can battle. In this game, they completely flip that script and they're like, screw it. The Pokemon are going to attack you whether you have Pokemon or not. Doesn't matter. So they can be just absolutely brutal. But I'm really enjoying this game. You work your way up from a rank Z to a rank A in these battles that only happen at night, because at night this game turns into the goddamn purge and certain parts of the city are roped off. And anyone that spots you in that city, it's fight on sight. It's crazy. So it's
that's amazing.
Yeah,
it goes to hell.
Yeah,
we need a Pokemon After Dark game, Mark, just for adults. It's immature. Things happen.
Yeah,
the dark side of Pokemon.
The whole thing happens in one city, but the city, I find, I've had no complaints. That's a
really cool setting.
Size of this game,
the grass. You're typically in the grass, and that's so like this is kind of cool.
Yeah. There are wild areas that you can find Pokemon just out anywhere, but for the most part, the Pokemon are kind of like relegated to these specific wild zone areas, and that's where you can find more of them in a condensed space. But like at the same time, you can be just like cruising through the street at night, and a Ghastly will pop out and just be like, "You just look at me? You better not be looking at me.
You looking at me?"
Or like I see, I love the little world building stuff. Like you go on a rooftop, there's going to be bird Pokemon. There's going to be Pidgeys hanging out there. You go through an alleyway, there's going to be Trubbish hanging out because they're made of garbage and they're eating the garbage that the restaurant throws out. Like there's that kind of stuff that it's just like, that makes sense. In a world, you go by the water, there's going to be some Magikarp. There's going to be some like little fish Pokemon just hanging out there. But then you go in the wild zone and there's bigger things happening. Yeah, it's been great so far. But like I said, you work your way up from the rank Z to rank A. Mild spoilers for anyone thinking working your way up through the entire alphabet is going to take a billion years. You skip a lot of letters. There's a fight that happens at one point and they say, okay, we're going to take you from a rank, whatever it is, Y, like W or V or something like that. It's you know, fairly down. You're not quite even like a TS kind of thing. It might be rank U. But like they take you from that rank and they jump you right up to a rank F. So you skip a lot of this middle alphabet kind of thing, which I think was a good move because a lot of this game is narrative driven. Yes, you can explore the entire city, but a lot of it is a linear narrative storyline. You get to pick different paths, but at any given point, there might be like 3 missions, and you get to just pick the one that you want to do at that time, but you have to do all 3 of them before you can move on to the next. And it is very linear. Here's this, here's this, here's this. It's a story that you and your friends are going and following along. And I've been enjoying the hell out of the story. So has Finn. So I think skipping those letters makes this game a lot less tedious and makes it so you're not going through essentially what would be like, you know, 20 something gym battles, which I think it'd be too much for a Pokemon game. Like, we're 20 some hours into this game and I've had no complaints on pacing. We are not done with it yet. I've unlocked, I think, 12 out of 17 wild zones. I've had a few of these mega evolution battles. There's still more to unlock. I've got no complaints about the pacing or anything in this game. I think, especially for a Legends game that are, you know, I don't think this is considered mainline. I don't know. I've heard different people say different things. Like, this is the next generation of Pokemon. It's not the next generation. I don't know. It has Legends in the name. It makes me think that it's a kind of an offshot Elseworlds kind of story. I know it still happens in the Pokemon world and it's Lumio City, which we already saw in X and Y. But it feels like, to me, it's like extra, right? The Legends always says it's an extra story.
It does feel like this is the Pokemon that they can experiment and try things, which I appreciate, because I'm like, because one thing I would always say, I think a lot of times people feel like Pokemon's got stagnant. They don't put a lot of effort into it because one comes out every year and they don't have a lot of highest budgets. And I feel like this is the one that I feel like a lot of the people that are the diehards have gone to this series, say this is my favorite. And the fact that it's now on legit hardware with NVIDIA DLSS, which they can do a lot of things. And apparently, if you get the Switch 2 version, you can actually play the Switch. That you take that cart and put it in the Switch, and it plays the Switch version, which is very smart. And then I think you can share, right? You can share between, if you got it, you can loan the game. Can you play concurrently, or can you only loan it?
So you can only have it on one Switch at a time.
It's like you're giving your buddy your game.
Exactly. It acts like a physical cart. So on mine, I used a voucher for mine. So I got the regular, like the standard Switch 1 edition, and then I paid
don't support any Switch 2 games.
$14 or something like that for the upgrade. So there is an upgrade path to this, which is great.
That's great.
Because Finn was also asking about the Plants vs. Zombie game, which I saw has 2 editions, and that pissed me right off because he wants it on his Switch. But I'm like, if I'm going to spend whatever, 25 or $30 or whatever that stupid game is for something, I'm like, well, I kind of want the Switch 2 edition, so it runs better on my.
It seems like it's a pretty simple.
I don't know. Right? I don't know. It's just something.
Is there like, and that's the part, right? I'm like, is there like a Switch and Switch 2 review that can tell you what you're missing?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into that now that, like, once we finish Pokemon, I'll probably, like, that'll be the next thing I like look into. But for now, I was just like, buddy, we're not buying that game right now. We're still working on Pokemon. Let's just focus on this, because I have to look up those reviews and comparisons, because I don't know. I don't want him dragging my Switch everywhere, and this is going to be a him game. So I'll probably get the Switch 1 edition and just be like, enjoy it. But then if it's really good, because I loved Plants vs. Zombies back in the day.
Oh, me too.
If it's really good, I'm going to be like, shit, now I want the Switch 2 edition if there are some improvements. So I really need to look up.
In my family, Plants vs. Zombies is a way of life. Logan was just the right age when I played the original. He sat on my lap and we played on the computer. So this is like just the same time frame. Perfect. And then obviously he graduated and went to the Plants vs. Garden Warfare, which I think Finn will like. It's like
we've played that. He loves it. He loves
it's great
it.
because it's so wholesome, but it's cool that you got like different roles and different
Yeah.
abilities. It's like almost like a hero shooter, but it's fun. You can play co-op too, which
Yeah.
was
Oh,
fun.
we've played.
Logan,
Yeah. A ton of that
I'm
game.
so glad that game is on Switch now, and they have so many
Yeah.
versions, so it's great.
Mhm.
But I also heard now Logan has continued to play it, and he's like done hacking it and all these things. Apparently, there's a Chinese version that they've included with all upgrades into this version. So they have some crazy stuff they added in.
Interesting.
So I will be getting it because I
Interesting.
love that game. It's one of the few, like I guess, tower defense like lane games that I really got
Yeah.
into. And
Yeah.
I loved it and I beat it. And it was a great song. I heard there's like you don't get like the song though when you beat it, which just sucks. But I mean, oh
Hmm.
well. I love the
Weird.
music stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That
There's
was
a zombie in my lawn. Check it out, folks. It's an amazing song.
yeah. So many great memories with that game. Like
Yeah.
original, like on I think I played it on iPad the first time I ever
I
played
got
it.
it on Steam and I think I still have like I can still play it with upgrades. Yeah.
But I had there's a metal lunchbox floating around here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
There's different things that I had
There's
from like back in the
plushies.
day. And
Yeah.
they're hard to find now. So I started 3D
Yeah.
printing Finn some Plants
Oh,
vs.
those are
Zombie
amazing.
toys. So I have like the little pea shooter. I have the big gourd guy. Just because it was hard to find the toy, so I was like, I'll just make you some.
We may
Like,
have
let's
to
go.
talk.
So now,
We may have to
he just
talk.
plays. Yeah.
I've got a 19-year-old who still likes cool things.
Yeah, I have to say that the pea shooter one
Oh.
fell apart instantly.
Oh no.
Just because the stem was so thin on the
Oh.
print.
Can you adjust that? Like, can you change the file or something to make it?
Maybe there might be a way to do it. What
Yeah.
I ended up doing was just yeah, 'cause it broke off. So I ended up adding more filament around it and kind of melting it into it's in a pot plant
Sure.
kind of thing. So I melted it back into it. So it's a little shorter than the original design.
But it's not falling
But
off.
it ain't going anywhere. That's for
You
sure.
give him a neck brace.
That's basically what I did. I kind of gave him
That's
this
funny.
like mid-tier brace kind of thing.
I love that.
But and the gourd held up until this weekend. Actually, Finn broke the stem off the top of the gourd, but that's not a massive issue. But the gourd's kind of a chonky kind of guy, so he wasn't going anywhere. But yeah, that's that'll probably be the next game we dabble into. But for right now, Pokemon Legends ZA. I don't know, man. I've heard everything the haters are saying, and if the worst thing that people have to complain about is an ugly window texture on the side of a building, it's like find a new hobby, man.
Did they play
Find
Scarlet and
something else.
Violet? Let's just put that in the Switch. Yeah,
dude, Scarlet and Violet
sinking into
runs
the
so
texture.
much better on Switch too.
Yes.
Holy crap!
Pokemon at 1080p is 60 frames per second. Well, yeah, you know what could be better.
Jumping back into it this weekend just to do those trades and to run around a little bit playing 2-player and like it is wild how good that game runs now compared to when it first launched. It's night and day. So if you,
I think the Pokemon company needs to connect with the Zelda team and the Xenoblade team, and like, how do they make this huge world and you can't do that? So,
yeah.
But you know what? They're too busy counting their money. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Ball Pit. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't play it much, but I think the pitch of that game is really just it is like Breakout crossed with Vampire Survivors. With apparently, this is where I stopped because apparently there is like some type of management with like building a village, which kind of screwed me up because I'm like,
that's where they lost me in the trailer.
That's where they lost me in the game. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Apparently, though, it's if you can just get through it, the part of the gameplay does involve the town building. That you actually are shooting the villagers at the things, and they're basically think of like Warcraft when you're gathering your resources. So I was just surprised because I was thinking, oh, it's just Vampire Survivors, and this is the thing, cool. But then I'm like, oh, I have to do something else. So I don't want to be the old man shouting at the the clouds. But I was surprised by that.
Completely get it. Watching the trailer for it, I was like, this game, the first 20, 15 seconds, we'll see it right here. Watch this. I'll tell you exactly where they lost me. This. I'm instantly in. I'm like,
oh, it's so cool.
Take my money. This looks perfect. It's like you said, Breakout, Vampire Survivors.
You got that
Two of
high
my
of getting like their
favorites.
next upgrade. The
Right.
music,
All that
the feels.
serotonin thing, the little monkey brain is going off of the casino colors. This perfect. What are we at right now? Check some time right now. We're at what, 30 seconds?
We're at like 30 seconds, yes.
Okay. See? 30, 40 seconds. We're in. I'm 100% like,
oh, I can't
shut
wait
up
to
and
play
take my
more.
money.
It's free on Game Pass.
This
Can't
game
wait.
looks fantastic. Is it free on Game Pass? Maybe I'll just play it there.
It's on Game Pass, yeah. It's good playing Game
shoot.
Pass.
Okay.
You could even play it on cloud, right? Cloud streaming on your phone, I'm assuming.
Oh my goodness. I did not realize
it makes
that.
sense. But yeah,
and here, where are we at? This is where they lost me.
This is like literally 50, almost a minute into
55,
the trailer.
about a minute in.
And they go by it again.
They just do, yeah.
Every level.
Yeah. And then they jump back into the fun stuff. And then they go here. And it's like, what are those little hints of things?
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That cool stuff. I guess maybe it's a breather. It's a palate cleanser. It's kind of like Mario 3D World, Mark, when you would do the Captain Toad levels. Yeah. It's like that. And that was my plan. Like, I don't want to be Captain Toad. Get me back in.
So this is, so I'm so glad that you mentioned this is on Game Pass, because I didn't realize that. I've been so focused on my Switch 2.
Stream it, play on cloud, maybe.
This is going to be a Game Pass game, because I'm definitely not spending money on it right away. If it's really good and it's one of those games that I want to be able to like put something on TV and play it on the Switch, then I don't mind, dipping into it a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's excellent. But where you're having the same hang up playing it that I had watching the trailer.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't watch the trailer. I just heard it's Vampire Survivors with Breakout. I'm like, okay, cool. Yep. Then I'm like, what is going on? I have to do that. Well, what do I do next? And it's like, okay. They didn't explain it either. It's like, oh, you're going. And it's like, oh, okay, it's Warcraft. Yeah. And I was wait, Mark. They made me pick.
Yeah.
What do I say? What do I say? But you know what? Try it on Game Pass, folks. You'll enjoy it. It's on everything else. People have loved this game, and they said, get over it, Todd. The management thing, once you get it set up, it takes like 5 seconds. You go back in. So maybe it's just me, but we'll see. If you have played this game, let us both know. Mark, love to hear what you thought about it after you played a little bit.
I'm downloading it right now to my Xbox.
Perfect. And then cloud, I'm assuming if it works there, I think it's be a good phone game too, because it's not very complex, and it seems like you use your finger to probably move the guy. So we'll see. I don't know, but well, folks, we made it through the best things we did, ate, played, read, watched this week. Amazing. And made. Oh my goodness, Mark. We covered the gambit of what I try to cover in the show, bringing a little joy, a little bit of fun, little smiles on all of our face. It's Halloween this week. Please enjoy. If you love being a kid, Halloween's perfect time to show your love of just getting into it. Watch scary movies, eat candy, drink some apple cider, eat some donuts, have a great time, go to crazy party, get drunk. I don't know, whatever you like. So with that, Mark, you know what? I'm so glad we're reunited. This is amazing. I miss talking to you, buddy.
This is great.
Tell people where they can find you.
First off, thank you for having me on. This was fantastic. You nailed it. This was a great. I've missed chatting with you. So this was a great catch up and such a fun show. The stuff you're doing is fantastic and such a fun change. And I can't wait to keep hearing more and keep watching more. So thank you for making me a part of this. And I look forward to doing more. So you can find the stuff that I'm doing over mostly on Instagram, Canerdian_Jedi. I am gearing up for the biggest con in Atlanta, Canada is coming up in less than 2 weeks. HalCon. I have a press pass once again. I'm going to be on the show floor, hopefully doing some cosplay interviews, talking to some people. I have a couple of mics now. I've got a new setup that I can hopefully very quickly do those kind of like, tell me about your cosplay. Yeah. How many hours did you put into this? I want to do some of those funny little things of like, who are you dressed as? what have you been confused for, or who have people confused you for, kind of questions, and those funny kind of videos as well.
Whatever you do,
So,
Mark, you got to put like a press, like it says press right there. I think you just put that in there, then they know you're official.
Perfect. Yes. They always they have the official kind of press lanyard thing that I always wear around. So that's going to be fun. I'm trying to figure out which cosplays I want to wear which day. So I haven't locked that in yet, but we'll see. I have a couple of ideas of what I can break out that weekend. And just today, I was talking to one of the organizers who usually deals with the press stuff and the guest interviews and stuff. In the past, that's how I talked to like E.K. Johnson last year, Timothy Zahn a couple of years ago. I'm hoping. So everyone listening or watching, keep your fingers and toes crossed for me that I got to talk to Sean Astin, Alan Tudyk. Well, what's the guys? I'm like completely blanking right now because I'm so excited about those two names. Wallace Shawn.
Nice.
For anyone that's like inconceivable, thank you. The voice of Rex from Toy Story, and Harvey Guillen. From What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, absolutely. He's been in a ton of roles.
Yeah, ton of stuff. And I didn't realize like he's done stuff like I love What We Do in the Shadows, but like he's also, I've heard his voice so much because he's the voice of the Mickey Mouse's Funhouse. Funny, really? I think the name is super. Yeah, Funny, the Magic House, Mickey Mouse Funhouse.
He was in Companion, which is great.
Yeah,
which I don't know if you saw the movie, is great, and he was also in One Night Werewolf, the VR Ubisoft game became a movie. It's very fun to watch. I would highly recommend if you want a fun, spooky Halloween movie.
All right. He's been in Reacher. He was in Blue Beetle. So a ton of stuff. So I just today, literally, I put in my request for those 4 guests. If any of them happen to feel like, because they don't always do press interviews, they don't always have time for everyone, especially not, like small kind of creators like myself. But like in the past, sometimes I've gotten to talk to some really cool people. So we will see in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, if we go. But either way, I will be there talking to people, and all the content will be over on Instagram. And there might be some other sharing opportunities. So we'll talk about some stuff and see where it makes sense to post some things. So there's going to be some discussions that way behind the scenes. But keep follow me there and see what I'm up to.
Excellent. Yes, Mark is great. He loves Star Wars. He loves all the cool stuff. He loves video games, and he loves cosplay creation and hanging out with people and hearing their stories. So follow Mark. So with that, follow us at thefandomfoundry.com. Also at the Fandom Foundry, at all our socials, Bluesky and Instagram, and also check out our YouTube channel, our website, and our Discord. So with that, folks, as I always say, make this the best week ever. Goodbye.